Hey, welcome in, crew. We've got some big news today. Big update. The biggest map, the best map, the most authentic map for Farming Simulator 19 is now available for Farming Simulator 22. And by this scene right here, you guys probably know what I'm talking about, right? This is County Line Farming Simulator 22 edition. It's not really officially out, but it's playable. Let me tell you about it. Let's dive into this thing. Pitter patter. That's right, you heard right. County Line for Farming Simulator 22 is released in beta form. It's still in testing, it's still being updated, but it is released and it is playable. Right now it is playable. There are a few things, we'll talk a little bit about that, but guys, it's playable right now. This is really, well, it's pretty much the same right now as Farming Simulator 19 was for the most part. For those who are uninitiated into County Line, if this is your first time seeing this map, this is one of my favorite. This is probably one of my favorite maps that ever came out for Farming Simulator. It covers all of the basis on which I base my future maps reviews on. So if you hear me talk ever about how I rate my maps, the things I'm looking for in a map for Farming Simulator, it is based basically on this map. So if you've caught one of my map reviews in the past, you will remember that, well, three things I have that I base my maps on. First of all, I want a town site. I want a usable town site as well, not just a town site that's just there for looks. The town site needs to have sell points and purchase points built into it. It makes you, give you a reason to go through the town or into town, to buy things, to sell things, whatever. So this map itself, it has two guys. It has two different towns. Right now we are over in the major city, the major town, I guess, of Moore. And off to the east, guys, you've got the town of Burksville. There's the two different towns. This one's a little bit smaller. There's currently only the one sell point here. We'll talk about the sell points a little later on. You also have a fuel station here as well. But you've got another whole town on this side of the map as well, which not too many maps are able to put in two whole different towns. This one does it. Secondly, what I'm looking for in a map, guys, are kind of authentic, irregular shaped fields. I don't mind square fields if they're authentic, if that makes any sense. But I kind of like how maps will add a field in and allow it to flow with the terrain. And as we kind of cross over, we've got tracks on the left, you got a major roadway on the right, and then there's a creek system just kind of in the middle. And you can see the way this field here just kind of flows between all three of those things. It's somewhat square, but really not. If that makes any sense. I don't know if it does, but you can see what I mean. It just flows with it. In between, there's a bit of a coulee system, and it flows around that coulee system. On the other side, of course, we've got another field. And that's one of the key features here. I don't mind square fields, but it has to make sense. And the fields on County Line all really do have that feeling where they just kind of flow with the land. And lastly, I need my maps to feel like a real place. I want them to feel authentic. I want them to feel like they are lived in, if that's a way of describing it. And you know what? The town sites really do help exemplify that. One thing that's currently missing from this is any kind of pedestrians. I've been noticing no pedestrians walking around. I do like that, to be perfectly honest. I love seeing people walk around, but the town sites really do help make this map feel like it's an authentic place. To be perfectly honest, Elm Creek does a great job with this as well. I do enjoy the base map in Farming Simulator 22, but County Line, guys, is really where it could be at. So if you've not seen the map of County Line before, well, here it is, folks. You see you've got 31 fields that kind of go around the map. Now, the big thing, like I said, are the way the fields are laid out on this. This was one of the first maps to do it this way. There's nothing cookie cutter about any of the fields. They are all very distinct and different. They flow with the land. As far as size goes, they're all of different sizes, as you can see. But they mostly average on the medium size. Nothing absolutely massive, but field 30, field 17 are both larger fields for sure. You'll definitely want to get some larger equipment, but nothing too crazy. You know, whatever you can find, really, but go with some bigger stuff for some of these fields. Now, as for the sell points right now, it seems like most of the stuff up north is all been completed. For the most part, there's some things that are broken that aren't quite accurate. I wouldn't say broken, but not accurate. Down south, there's some stuff that's missing still, which will come into play. Some of the stuff, for instance, the store, this is not an actual location right now. This store is not an actual store. That's out in the middle of a field. The store is actually right here. So the icons are in the wrong spots right now. Something just to make note of. Also down south, this is not actually a store. That's just a purchasable point right now that I've placed down. So as far as stuff that works, everything up north currently does work. The stuff down south, not so much yet. So like I said, we're in beta. This is going to be fixed at some point in time here. We'll go through more detail, all the stuff that's, well, that might change here as we go through this, guys. I'm gonna go down and we're gonna drive out to the main farm. So the central new farmer farm, which is not really a farm right now. It is, there's no equipment that's being built in right now. Like I said, we're still in beta, as I've said for the third time now. There's nothing built in for that. So, but if you do go with new farmer mode, you will get the baseland farmland at least, but there'll be no equipment on it. And here is where the nostalgia feel just kind of pops for me at least. This roadway that drives in past, there's the main road behind us, the main highway. The dirt road that comes into this farmland, guys, I can't even number the amount of times I've driven back and forth down this road to come to this farm out here. Now, like I said, this farm is built. There is a farm here. There are some interesting things, and that's kind of the key with the rest of the map as well, guys. There's a lot of things that everything that we talk about in here is the same for the rest of the map. Like I said, the buildings are all there, but some of them aren't exactly accurate. They're not working quite yet. For instance, the shop buildings, the doors don't quite work. As you can see, we have the one shop off the right, cold storage, and then the main shop building here. These typically all have doors on them, and none of them are currently having doors. In fact, even the man doors that are on each of the sides of the office are not really there right now as well. So it's fully enterable at least, but none of the doors work. The farmhouse is off to the side. That was never enterable. It's still there. There's no sleep point there right now, however. Just note that. And then the silo system that was here is no longer here. So you'll have to place down your own silo system if you use the main farm. Actually, there's no silo system for any of the farms on the map right now, so you will need to place down some stuff. As we continue through the farm, you've got a couple more outbuildings, but once again, these ones here, no doors, no working doors currently placed on them. Just be aware of that. I know in base game or in 19, these all had doors. No doors right now. And you will find that throughout the map. There are some buildings, of course, around the map that had doors that would work. Or, for instance, fence lines like the one right here that had fences that you could open, and they currently do not. So just be aware of that. That kind of stuff is still, work in progress. That's really where we're at with that kind of stuff, at least. So hopefully at some point in time you'll be watching this video and none of this will matter, but with the beta version of this map, there are some things that will still need some work. We'll give you a pristine example of this. So all the farmlands, once we leave the main farm, we're gonna head straight south here, cross over the roadway. And if you've played the map at all, you might recognize this whole area. As we get past the TV tower there, the cell phone tower, there is a whole other area that is a little bit different right now. This was normally to be the biogas plant, guys, and currently it is a silo system that doesn't work. So just be aware of that. Everything down south on the map, as we come down in the southern portion, all the way down to the very bottom of the map, currently does not have any purchasable sell points that work at all. So there is a ranch down, a horse ranch down in this area over here. Of course, there's a sell point here typically. This was the biogas plant. None of them are currently active, but that's something that can be easily fixed as updates come out. Now, of course, there are other farms located around the map, such as this one here down in the southwesternly quarter. Once again, though, none of the buildings really work. There's nothing that's functioning on them right now, and none of them can be deleted as well. Even the main farm, you can't delete any of the buildings that are there, even if you own the properties, of course. Just be aware of that. So it is workable, but there's nothing you can delete or use right now, if that makes any sense, unfortunately. Same can be said for the sawmill right now, not currently activated. But as we head back north and head up into the town of Burkesville, which we're just about at right now, that's when we're going to start getting all the actual active sell points. So like I said, there's one active sell point just on the far side here. Just on the other side of the tracks, we do have that Burkesville grain mill right there. There is also a sell point right there. That Crisco plant is typically a sell point, not currently active though right now. The Cattleman's livestock auction is active over on the northwesternly area. And then just north of the town of Moore, you've got 3 different sell points. The biotech plant right there, I believe it is. You've got the ConAgra as well as the Quaker plants just by the tracks here as we kind of go south into town. Now, be aware, of course, the tracks themselves, they're no longer active, at least in this version right now. No trains. Hopefully that's something. I do love the train that was on County Line in FS19. I would love to see the trains make their way back in, even though these tracks are a little bit crazy sometimes. So just looking through the prices list in the menu system, guys, really gives you an idea of where we're at with this. You can see, well, there's the 5 different sell points for your main crops, of course. However, you get down to some of the new crops, the grapes and olives. Yeah, there's nothing there. Sunflowers and soybeans and corn, of course, are all good. But even as we go down into some of the different ones from cotton, sugarcane. Oh, sugarcane does have sell points. I didn't know it did. Regular cotton not having anything as well, which I think was common in Farm Sim 19 as well. But eggs and wool, same thing. Even your milk, no sell points for that. So you're going to have to add some stuff if you want to use any of those sell points. And I mean, of course, that's going to go ahead and say the same thing for all of your productions right now. Not sure if there's any plans to add anything for this, and of course Farm Sim 19 didn't have any productions in them, so that's unknown right now. But you can always place those buildings down yourself, of course, and make this map how you want to do it. And really, that is going to be key to how County Line is right now. If you decide to download this map and use it, the map is there. It's fully functional. It's a fantastic map. However, most of the stuff, the sell points and that kind of thing, you may want to place down your own just to make it work for you. Same with your farms, guys. You're gonna have to really build out your farms a little bit, it seems like right now. There's some stuff, of course, missing from silos, and then maybe some sheds. But be aware that that's going to be up to you to do, right, at this point in time. So the question, I guess, for you would be, would you do it now? Would you download this map now and try it? Would you do it later? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what your plans are. Of course, also, let me know down in the comments what your favorite map from Farm Sim 19 is that you would love to see come to Farming Simulator 22 that we don't have yet. I mean, pretty much all of them are out there. So what map would you like to see come to Farm Sim 22? So I think that's it for my final thoughts there, guys. Like I said, this is one of my favorite maps ever for Farming Simulator. Absolutely love this map. We're at a spot right now where things are coming along pretty quick on it. Are you going to adopt it early is the question. Should you dive into it right now? And I don't have the answer for that. Are you willing to put in a little bit of work to build the map yourself? I think that's going to be the bigger question, because the map itself is there. It's fully playable, but like I said, some of the sell points and things you might need to work on. So just be aware of that if you decide to go that route. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe. And of course, maybe if you want to check out maybe the first map that dropped for Farming Simulator 22, check out that card. Maybe you'll be impressed with that one. That's something a little bit different as well. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. We'll talk to you next time from County Line, Farming Simulator 22. This is Klutch. Over and out.